Hey everyone, I'm Adam Harry from BoLS with
Drake from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
and we've got some Gloomspite Gitz for you today. Drake, what'd you bring?
I have with me today the Bad Mood Loonshrine, the
Super cool.
Battletome, and the Endless Spells, all for the Gloomspite Gitz
Yes!
Goblin Gang.
That's right. The Gloomspite Gitz are multiple factions. It's the Moon Clan, the Spider Fang, and the Trogs.
Yep.
Form into one super faction. We're
And
pretty
some
excited.
giants.
And some giants, it's true. That's right. Elkos are in there. We got to look at the Destruction Battletome already, and we're finally getting to look with our hands on with the models. So
Yeah.
can we jump in? Let's jump in. Drake, you've got the Battletome, the Endless Spells, and the super rad Moonshrine here.
Mega Moon Loonshrine, Bad
Yeah.
Boy Lair itself.
Where do you want to start, man?
Let's start with the spells.
Spells. Yeah, I haven't actually got my hands on these yet, so I'm kind of excited.
I like the mushroom. I'm a fan of the cauldron. I think
The cauldron, yeah. Spider cauldron. I want to see what's up with this mushroom, man.
Ooh, okay. Well,
More stuff in the
that
box.
is an easy build.
Yeah, most of the stuff
That's
is,
done.
Just gotta paint it.
This is 4 pieces technically.
Yep, with the cloud.
Four
Look at that.
pieces.
That's a cool looking shroom.
2. What are all these things? Oh, those are little knockers on the
Oh yeah,
little like handle.
this should be a pretty quick build.
Yeah, this is pretty easy.
It's got the rules included as well, and then it's black and white, and then you've got the instructions. But look at that mushroom, man. That's pretty wicked looking. I like the little death set on it, and then
More.
but the spider one I don't want to touch. Just it looks creepy, and it's gonna look even worse painted. I think.
Yeah,
creepy
probably.
wise, it's actually pretty neat. There's a lot of detail going on there. That's just a whole lot of spiders. So that's gonna be funny when you're playing and somebody casts it like off on the side, and you're not paying attention, and you catch it from the side of your eye. And you're just like
Yeah, it's flat. It's low. You can actually hide the model.
Ugh. And then, of course, the Bad Moon there. These spells, by the way, we've got Mork's Mighty Mushroom. We've got the Malevolent Moon, which is that thing. We've got Scrap Scuttle's Arachna Cauldron, which is pretty rad. And then, of course, the Scuttle Tide. So, yeah. Creepy. I like it. What's next? Book or the Shrine?
Let's take a look at that shrine.
We got to do the Shrine, man. Shrine time. This is a pretty big model box. One of the larger ones.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
That explains why. It is
There you go.
massive and mostly in one piece.
Wow. It's like 2 giant screws and 2 giant halves of the same Bad Moon.
Wow.
That is rad, man.
Chains and mushrooms and stuff that you stick on, but the meat of it is all there.
That is cool. I was not expecting a build to be this simple. Let me put it that way. Because it's really just glue those 2 halves together, glue those 2 halves together, and then add doodads.
Yeah, and stick everything onto the sides.
Yeah, and you can see from the instructions again, it looks like a lot more complicated than it is because these bits are pretty large, and it's got the rules included. So that's cool, man.
Wow.
Get one of
Yeah,
these.
that is meaty. That's a lot of plastic.
Yeah, this even if you're not playing Gloomspite Gitz,
It's a cool terrain piece.
cool terrain. I was gonna say you could even buy this just for your table, just to have a cool piece of terrain. It functions like that. Plus, it blocks line of sight, which is always valuable, and it's thematically appropriate for Age of Sigmar. So it's a win in my book. And again, it's just 2 giant screws. Probably build that in an afternoon and
Yeah.
clean up quick too. So that brings us to the rule book. Battletome. Destruction finally gets another ally force to party with here.
He even looks like an Iron Jaw.
He does kind of look like an Iron Jaw. He probably stole that off of an Iron Jaw and repainted
That's
it.
the first thing that I thought.
Yeah.
He's even got the little flame on the wristband.
Right?
That's
Definitely stole it from an Iron Jaw.
Yeah, and he's like, this looks like a moon.
I'll wear it. What's in this book? Ton of stuff. A bunch of new backstory for the Gloomspite Gitz. The Gloomspite Gitz, again, cover 3 different factions, which we mentioned earlier. You've got the Moon Clan Grots, you've got the Spider Fang Grots, and then the rebranded Trolls.
Revamped and enhanced Troggoths.
Yeah, they're
Trog herds.
Yeah, so that's what's going on there. We're going to skip over most of the lore section. There's quite a bit in there. Kind of explains what the Grots have been up to this whole time in the new Age of Sigmar. Cool new models, which you just showed off. Tons of cool stuff coming out still.
The Ragnarok still looks great.
Yep. You get a bunch of cool new rules as well. For starters, their new battle trait is the Bad Moon, and this actually affects all 3 factions, not just the Moon Clan, which I think is neat.
Yeah, army-wide.
Yeah, army-wide. The way this works is you basically pick a corner where the moon starts, and it's going to move diagonally to the opposite end of the tabletop in a straight line. But it's basically these just different sections here. And where the moon is kind of affects the surrounding grots. Pretty cool way. So, and you can kind of read here. It changes over time, but the light of the Bad Moon kind of spreads its wings over the table and has in-game impacts. It's it's pretty cool.
Yeah, buffs across your army for your casters, your Moon Clan, your spiders, even your Troggoths as well.
Yeah, and
while also debuffing and pummeling your enemies.
Yeah, which is always appreciated.
Pretty good.
On top of that, we've got all the different command traits for the 3 different sub-factions, artifacts power, again, for all the different factions. New spells of lore, spells of lore.
Yes.
Lore of the Moon Clan lore. And then, of course, the Bad Moon Loonshrine, which we just looked at here. This thing's pretty great. It's you want to explain some of what it does, man? Because it's pretty cool.
So it's got a 12-inch bubble of battle shock immunity,
which is great
to all Gloomspite, not just Moon Clan or not just stab as shoot as. And the size of that model, 12 inches off of that, is basically a board area. At least. Slap that in the middle, that's going to be pretty...
You could probably get... I mean, it's 12 inches off the side, so that's at least 2 feet. But you account for the model size, too, the footprint on that.
Yeah, at least 4 or 5.
Probably
maybe even 6
inches
wide. That is a good spread on that battle shock immunity.
For sure.
And then, additionally... any of your grots, basically. Any grot unit you can bring back at half strength for free out of this bad boy.
Yeah, which is super handy. Of course, this book's got all of the Battletome data sheets that you can expect here. The battalions, the big war scrolls here. The Trog herds, which we've...
The Squig Battalion, which I'm sure everybody's excited about.
It's got some cool stuff, man. If you were an old fan of the Spiderfang grots, there's some new stuff in here, too. The new Skitterstrand Arachnarok, which is basically... the Arachnarok without the thing on the back. It's pretty nasty because it can just pop up.
Just the spider?
Just the spider. Yeah.
Ooh, and it can burrow. Ooh.
It just pops up. So
that's
pretty
nasty.
Cool stuff. It's also got points in here, which we're not going to go over. But it's a must-buy, I think, if you're planning on playing these guys. In match play for sure, but
goes without saying. I think if you're picking up the grots or even like the models and want to play them, you want the book.
And I mean, it's about time Destruction got some extra support here. The Iron Jaws have been running solo for a little while.
Yeah, we had Bone Splitters though, but it's not. It wasn't. They didn't get a line rework like these guys.
Right.
They
That's
got
what I'm saying.
A lot of new stuff.
They just got some new plastic injection into their bloodstream, which is great stuff. So let's hop out for a really quick recap. Well, that was the Gloomspite Gitz. Oh man, I'm so happy about this faction finally coming. Finally, Destruction getting some more love.
Yeah, I like. They're definitely a really strong presence. The theme is present and consistent.
Yep.
I like the way that they tie them all together while retaining the different kind of sub-factions.
Yeah. And I mean the new big kits are really cool too with the Gloomshrine here. The Loon, what is it? Bad Moon Loonshrine.
Bad Moon Loonshrine.
Bad Moon Loonshrine. Well, it's a mouthful, but it's pretty cool. And what I also like about it is how, and we saw from the rules, it impacts all 3 different sub factions.
Yeah.
Pretty equally too, and in good ways. And then of course the endless spells.
Yeah.
So
the moon itself as an army
mechanic,
rule, reminds me a lot of the Ideneth. Having a board-wide kind of state.
Yeah. Like the tide for them is impacted by the moon. So.
It's visual as they kind of as your goblins scuttle across and chase this across the sky. I really like that theme to Crunch, like making that work.
Absolutely. Speaking of Crunch numbers.
Yeah.
Price point on all these products. What are we looking at here?
Battletome is the standard 40 that we've been looking at.
Yep.
The endless spells is 35.
Yep.
For 4 of them is not bad. And the Loonshrine is sitting at 60. It's kind of topping off the range.
For sure. And really, if you are planning to play the Gloomspite Gitz, pretty much all three of these products are going to be something you want to pick up.
Fairly ubiquitous.
The Battletome, for obvious reasons. This bad boy is just
0 points.
Yeah, and totally worth it for
free bring, lots of value.
Yeah,
free models if you are if you bring any grots at all. You get
the bravery boost and all that fun stuff.
Half again come back for free.
And then those spells, if you're looking to use any of those in the game. Pretty cool stuff. Let's go ahead and call it there. I'm Adam here from BoLS.
I'm Drake with Dragon Star Comics and Fantasy.
And this has been another Tabletop Spotlight. Thanks again for watching. Tabletop Spotlight, brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.